Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
This is Beyond the podcast of 1984, and I am your endo-parasitic mutant space host, the bizarre alien. I don't take notes or any of that crap. I said I was going to the first episode. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Here we are. So, the last episode, if you listened to it, and thank you if you did. If you didn't, then I guess you didn't, but maybe you will. Anyways, I interviewed my brother, who goes by the name of Fecalophagus, a.k.a. Richard Longfellow, and that was really fun. That was over in Newport, Washington, and I had a really fun time doing that. The only thing that we forgot to talk about was his comics, his art, which is very detailed stuff. It's very cool, very technical, and his comics. Did I just say comics? Yes, comics. See? Okay, well, I'm not going to redo this. So anyways, we didn't talk about that stuff or his RPG because he's created 2 different role-playing games. But I definitely want to go back out there and hang out with those guys because I missed you guys and I had a great time. And I had a lot of fun doing that interview. And every time I go out there, I bring my little, my Kodak camera and I'm like, hey, maybe we could make do some goofy skits or record something. We never do. Maybe we can work on some art. We never do. So anyways, I did that interview with him, and I definitely want to do another one sometime, talk about, your art and your comics and your role-playing games and other stuff, buddy. I think that'd be great. But anyways, I've been sick since, not feeling good since Sunday, and I tried calling the doctors the other day. It was what was it? I don't even know, Wednesday? Yeah, I tried calling them Wednesday, and they said, oh, yeah, you could probably come in, on the 11th, and I'm like, with that long, by that time, I'll be extremely sick or whatever, It's but anyways, I'm going to try calling again tomorrow, I guess. Kind of out of it right now. Like I said, I haven't been feeling too good. I'm trying to be coherent. I'm not, delirious. So what is this episode about? This is, in fact, and by the way, this is, episode 8. Obviously not a real big change in my incoherency, but that's me, man. I have a hard time focusing. I gotta say, even though I don't feel that good, I'm very happy right now. I'm still feeling a little bit weird. But anyways, I've had a certain person on my mind a lot lately. I've been just really sad about her and thinking about her a lot. And I didn't tell her this, but, I had some dreams about her the other day, and I think that kind of inspired me. But also just thinking about life. And I was like, is this a friend of mine that I haven't talked to in well over a year? And it was my fault, not your fault, my fault, because I shouldn't build up things in my head so much. And if you're listening to this, which I hope you are, I apologize from the bottom of my heart because you are my dear friend and you are very special and you always will be. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else, but like I said, I'm sorry. I just build up so much BS in my head and not even communicating. And then what do? Boom. I quit talking to you. And I'm really sorry. And I was thinking a lot about life lately. Well, just hanging out with my family was a joyous time. And, when you have people that are dear to you, that you care about, that mean a lot to you, that you love them, you just, come on, man. Don't drop them out of your life because life is really too short, And I was just thinking about, I've said this a lot, and it's kind of dumb, but it's just something I say a lot. It's I don't want to be lying there dying, in a hospital or wherever, preferably the woods somewhere. Anyways, I don't want to be lying there regretting that I didn't, certain things I didn't do. And as silly as it might sound, you, my friend, and I'm not going to say her name. I'm sure some people might know who I'm talking about because I've talked about her a lot. But anyways, she's my friend, and I care about her. I love her. And I don't want to regret that. And not just you, but other things in my life and other people. Just I'm always talking about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I really have been trying to do stuff. I did my comic book, which I've talked about in the last, I think probably every episode now, my WTF Monster tribute to the Thing. And that will be sent off to my buddy Tim along with some of our other homemade movies and stuff, because we got a DVD that's going to come out this year. And I'm really trying to do my best to get a short film that Adam and I edited it, but my friend Egomon, aka Jarrett, and I did many, many years ago. And I really would like to get that included, because that's like an early, I think we did it like 2001, and I want to get that on there really bad. It's called The Swelling. Anyhow, I'm trying to do stuff. I play my guitar a lot more, and I think I'm getting pretty good. I don't think I'm super great, but I think I'm heck of a lot better than I was. I've been watching a lot of this show on YouTube. Was it Justin Orville from Hell's Headbangers, which is a really great show. I've been watching that a lot, and that dude is just hilarious, and he's really inspired me big time. Him and Last Stream on the Left, which I've decided I'm going to get back into that, even though, I keep mentioning Ben's not on there anymore. I hope he comes back someday. But anyways, I'm going to get back into it, because you know what? It's still a really cool show. It's got a different guy on there now, or a different lady, whoever is guesting with him, but it's still a great show, and I'm going to get back into it. But thank you guys. Thanks, Justin, for your freaking hilarious show that you do. I don't agree with everything you say. I don't like some of the stuff that the Last Stream on the Left talks about or shows, but hey, you know what? Everybody does their own show. Talk about what you like. And that's important, man, because I've been through a lot of stuff that I know a lot of people don't like. Anyhow, I'm trying to get better. Like I said, I haven't been feeling very good. I don't know. I think, is there even a theme to this freaking episode? Got a really freaking annoying video in the background. I put it on mute, and it's making me want to just barf. It's totally dumb. I'm not even going to say who it is. Just freaking, oh, God, this is horrible. But yeah, it's like 1:40, and I'm doing this episode, and I think this is going to be the last one that I do. The last one that I do before I send this all off, because I got to send a bunch of stuff off to my buddy Tim. Like I said, some short films and stuff, some short zombie thing that Adam and I did, Adam from Moth, Difficulties, Smart Frog, etc., that we did a long time ago. It's pretty horrible, but I think it definitely needs to be included. And then I'm sending A Beautiful Day, which we shot in 96. What was it? I think some other stuff. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling. But yeah, that's one thing I want to talk about a little bit is regret. You shouldn't have regrets in life. Be happy. But don't kick out people of your life that mean so much to you, because you regret it one day, man. Because I really thought that when I called her that she was going to get really mad and like hang up on me. And when I called and she answered the phone, I thought it was an old lady, but it's because she was sick, so sorry about that. Although, I gotta say, it was kind of funny, but I hope you get better soon. I hope you feel better. Hope I feel better soon. I really need to do a crazy episode. This is supposed to be my show. The show's supposed to be crazy and weird, and it's not very bizarre, is it? It's kind of generic. I'm generic. Man, but I also don't have any references to anything right now, and I'm trying to think, what am I talking about? Anyways, I was surrounded by dogs, and what else? Cute little dogs, big dog. Drank a lot of, what do you call that? The sparkling flavored water, like the bubblies, which is really good. I went through a lot of that. First night I was there, I drank too much pop, which was really stupid. I'm really supposed to be laying down on the sugar because of my crap going on. And, I keep mentioning it every episode, but I haven't drank now in 25 days, maybe probably longer than that. I just cannot drink, and the thought of it makes me really sick. And I'm not saying, I'm better than you. If you're out there listening to this and you drink, that's fine if you do. I can't. Do I miss it? Yeah, a little bit. I miss the buzz a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, man, one thing I don't want to repeat is the horrid, beyond ghastly feeling that I had. So, because that medicine, I think, has really taken over my system. In fact, I just took it again about, over an hour ago. Right after I eat every night, I take my medicine, and on weekends, I try to remember to take it, because I'm supposed to take it, every single freaking day. But yeah, I don't know. What am I talking about? What is this podcast about? I don't know, a bunch of crazy stuff. But yeah, I would say life is short. Life is too short. It really is too short. I remember when I was a little kid, I had a slightly sunken in chest, and I used to run around in shorts a lot. I'm kind of shy now. I don't wear shorts very often unless I'm at home or something. I don't even have any shorts. I have these weird, I don't know what they're kind of like underwear, but they're like boxers. I guess, yeah, they're called boxers. Duh. Hey. I could just say, hey, I'm an alien. I don't know any of your Earth crap. Yeah, but What was I just talking about? I've been having a lot of brain farts lately. Like I was talking to my dad last weekend. Excuse me. I was talking to my dad, and I'm not kidding. What happened is I get so excited while I'm in a conversation. I'll be talking about something, and then I go, and I just, you know what I mean? It happens a lot. All they're gonna say is, I'm sure future episodes will be better than this one. But I would like to dedicate this episode to my friend. So yeah, hey, if you're listening to it, you've heard my big mouth on the phone. So hey, you can hear my big mouth on here. And I hope that by the time you hear this, that you're feeling a lot better. And I hope I'm feeling a lot better because I want to be happier. I mean, I'm happy right now. I'm really happy, but I'm also feeling kind of like, I don't know. Pretty sure I don't have, what do you call that, bronchitis? Because if I did, I'd be coughing nonstop. I hate bronchitis, but yeah. So life is okay. I'm taking my medicine every day. Trying to drink a lot of water, which I'm not doing too well with. Planning out ideas for another comic book. I think I might have mentioned it before. Thinking about doing a Rex Fearless story, and Rex is loosely based on me. I also thought about like interviewing him. Say, "Wait, aren't you basically interviewing yourself?" Yeah, I could do that if I want to, dummy. I definitely am going to do an episode sometime dedicated to Paul Naschy. And being the poser that I am, I can't remember his real name. Something Molina, but Wajinta, Molina, something like that. Anyways, so I recently just got 2 more films in my collection on Blu-ray. One from Vinegar Syndrome, which is Count Dracula's Great Love. And then yesterday, finally, I think they sent it by dog sled, from Mondo Macabro, The Frenchman's Garden, and I'm really excited about it. I love Paul Naschy. I already stated that in the previous episode. I love Paul Naschy, and I know that my buddy Diablo, and I'm sure Todd the Meat Cutter and Steve Mad Dog Wenger, they love him too. True horror fans love Paul Naschy. Some people are like, who? And that's cool. If you don't know who he is, that's cool. But what I hate is when people just trash on the guy. Oh, those movies aren't doing great. To see you make a movie, butthole. Get defensive there. I'm trying to convey emotion here, but I'm also like, to each their own, I did Celtic Frost Cold Lake. I have a Russian import CD of that I got from the Russian Federation. And in fact, I was listening to, what was that live show they did live at, I believe it was the Hammersmith Odeon, the Cold Lake tour, and I actually have the original VHS of that. I got it off of eBay. And yes, I am a glam poser. That's something that I was talking about earlier. Okay, so I was really depressed a couple weeks ago, like really down in the dumps, just thinking about life, thinking about sad stuff, and a few things here and there. And I started thinking about Rat, and I don't know, maybe I repeat myself. I have a habit of that, so that's why I need to be taking notes, maybe like a little diary thing about what I've talked about. Listening to Rat, thinking about Rat, actually. I hear guitar on while I was working, made me feel a lot better, yeah. I just lost my train of thought. What was it? Things I like? I don't know. This is definitely a really lame episode, huh? I mean, to me, it's in celebration of good things. Yeah, it's just like when I was doing comedy. I was doing comedy for a while. I did it for like a year and a half. I really don't think I was that great. I've tried watching some of my old stuff, and it's funny. I get sick and tired of hearing the word cringe. Let me just say that I have cringed watching my stuff because it's terrible. Most of my shows, I don't know, I was really, really nervous. And the funny thing about doing comedy is, at least for me, I thought, oh man, I'm all ready. I'd have like a few days before I was going to do, a 5-minute gig. I'm like, oh man, I was so excited. I'm like, that audience is going to be laughing. And then I'd get up there and do it, and that was freaking terrible, and barely anybody laughed. Sometimes, excuse me, I mean, the best part though is sometimes I have people come up to me, like I did a gig one night, and I was like, I was talking like this, and I was doing this voice, and I was going to have the audiences doing, I'm like, excuse me, how are you doing, madam? And she's like, oh, we're fine. I said, you got a lovely smile, so it's very nice, thank you very much for being here. And they were laughing. And I did a whole gig, a whole show like that. I was like talking like I was British, and people were just looking at me like, duh. And I mean, I'm glad I did that, but you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just because every show I did was in front of a bunch of drunk people. Or I'd just do shows where I'd like wear a mask. I'd turn around, put a mask on, and then turn around. And, you get a few laughs here and there. But, I mean, I really tried. And maybe I'm just putting myself down too much. But I gave up. And then I was like, a couple of weeks went by. Maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe a month went by. And I'm like, you know what? Cares if a lot of people didn't like what I was doing, because I started thinking about the people that did. I mean, I'd have people coming up to me. I had a dude come up to me one night. He's a really big guy, and at first I thought he was going to be aggressive with me because he was a pretty big guy. And he's like, dude, you were awesome. And he like shook my hand, and he told me he thought I was really cool because I wasn't like anybody else. And I was like, thanks, man. I was really, really moved. And that's what kind of kept me going. But, eventually, like, I did my last show, and I was wearing a skull mask, and I was really inspired by, who was it? The Black Mask. I think it's the Black Mask or the Black Skull. I can't remember his name now. Anyways, the Batman villain, he's also just in the Catwoman Hunted anime. Anywho, it was like a 5-minute gig, and I was sitting there in a chair. I felt like I was pretending like I was on a talk show, and it was just really lame. I had people walking out. I was like, I'm done. And I thought, you know what? Several weeks later, I'm like, I might go back. I'm going to get my revenge. And then by then, COVID took over, and that was it. And that was it, man. Was it. And I have not done any comedy.
You're still afraid?
Stop it now! I mean it!
He's coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant!
He's coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a
He's
child!
coming for you. Look, here he comes.
Now he'll hear you!
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here, BCA. Tune in to BCA's Podcast Weekly on Beyond the Podcast of 1984. BTP 1984.com. Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
But, it's funny. It's kind of like doing this podcast. I'm like, oh, man, I'm so excited. Ooh, I'm ready. And then I record it, and I'm just kind of blah. I don't know. Maybe somebody's enjoying this, Maybe somebody's having a good time listening to this. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't talked about horror movies I just mentioned Paul Nash, who's like, he's a king. I don't know, man. I'm not a very focused person. I try to be like, it was really hard doing my comic book because I think originally I was going to have it like 8 pages, and then I got inspired. I kept drawing more, and then I'd be like, this kind of sucks. So I was going online looking up underground comics and stuff. Keep getting inspiration, so I kept drawing pages, and then all of a sudden I'd remember another scene from like the movie from The Thing that I really liked, and I was like, I gotta parody that, or do my own interpretation. So it's not like a super parody. It's not like I'm not totally making fun of it, and if you think I am, well, you're more sensitive than I am. But, it's a loving homage comedy, whatever. And I might do another one of these days. I was thinking, would I do the prequel? I don't know, maybe. But I had enough fun, and it was a lot of work, and I did it for the fun of it, But, I'm trying to focus on stuff, man. I tried doing the comedy thing, and, who knows? Maybe one day I'll get back to it. But right now, I don't think so. I mean, maybe I'll do a pseudo comedy gig here on my frickin' Zoom here for an episode. That'd be kind of boring. I'm unprepared for a lot of things I do. If I took notes, then I would be prepared. A lot of people, you go to college, what are you up? Get ready to take all your notes. Well, I've never been at college. I was going to try to go to college when I lost my job several years ago, and I chickened out, and I ended up getting my job back, and I kind of wussed out. Instead of trying something new in my life, which is me, I just don't challenge myself. I mean, if I did, I'd probably be having a really exciting time in my life. And as it stands, I'm not a very exciting person. I'm just kind of boring. I'm not too exciting, obviously. And I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes or pot or anything. I'm just kind of boring. You want to hang out with a guy that drinks like sparkling flavored water, and I don't even really eat potato chips anymore. I ate a bunch of my dad's, but that was And that was a bad night. I drank way too much pop, so I could probably screwed up my sugar levels, and I need to get that checked soon. But yeah, wow, this is an exciting freaking episode. Maybe there's some cool music playing in the background that will excite you. I don't know. Got a Black Crowes video playing in the background. And you know what? I'd have it playing, but I don't want the copyright stuff. Because I know with this, you got to make sure it's not the copyrighted. So the theme that you hear at the beginning is actually, I didn't make it. I don't even know what the name of the theme is. Maybe we'll put that on here in the credits somewhere. Anyhow, I'm really happy to be doing this. Trying to think about what else to talk about. The whole thing I was thinking was regret. And what else could I say? I don't know. In the terms of regret, regret's not a good thing, man. There's things that I do regret that I cannot change unless I could go back in time. But seriously, Colin, my friend, and like I said, if you're listening to this, I'm talking to you about you. I'm really happy because that's something that, was really just tearing at my heart. So I'm happy I talked to you. And like I said, I hope we'll keep in touch. And I'm never going to be such a butthole like that ever again. And I mean it because that's not cool. It's not cool to do that to people. I know you're like, yeah, you don't take a long break. But B, I don't know. So maybe it's just me. Anyways, I'm not going to keep.
Alert, alert, alert. This is the emergency TV distraction notification system. This is only a break while we wait for the TV distraction to be over. Now return to our show with the TV distraction still in progress.
Pathetic. We're thinking, Jesus, this guy's a jerk off. But Incubus, this isn't even the real freaking Incubus. You know what? You want an Incubus Serpent Temptation from Gnarland. This is like some stupid new metal band. Incubus, what a joke. It's already a freaking Incubus. And every time I see this band or hear about it, makes me want to puke. It's like the only Incubus is the death metal one. So it makes me sick. It's like all these stupid bands. I can't even it's like, get on the internet and look up these names, dumbass. Like, look up your band name before you use it. Apparently, these stupid bands. This band is terrible. All this, new metal. 3Live and all those bands. That's fine. People like them. I can't stand any of that stuff. I like a couple songs by Saliva, but I don't know. That's about it. I can't stand Limp Bizkit. I don't hate them. I don't even hate this band Incubus. I just think that they're really generic and they should have come up with an original name. Wow. Wish You Were Here. Oh, that's original. Yeah, that's a song by Pink Floyd, dummy. Anywho, so I gotta change this channel. It's making me sick. It's terrible. Pardon me. I have the volume down, but I can still see their ugly faces. So, yeah, I guess the whole thing that I was trying to say before I had lost my train of thought is if something really has if something has happened in your life, let's say from a person, and it hasn't been that horrible, then don't turn your back on them. Don't regret, because if you do you do something you regret, it's like, I don't know. Am I even making any sense, kids? Probably not. I haven't shaved in over 3 years now. I look like a frickin' Yeti. I have a hat that has horns on. I have I have 2 hats with horns. I have a plastic Viking helmet at home. It wouldn't matter if I was wearing it right now because you couldn't see it unless I put the picture up. And like I said, I don't know how this is all going to be set up. It's going to be on a website or something. And you can listen to my show, and it will call this The Regretful and Boring Times of the Bizarre Alien, because this is kind of dull. And if you're listening to it the first time, you should go back and listen to another episode. The only thing that I do is at the beginning of every episode, I kind of do a little, a reiteration? Is that what you want to call it? A reiteration? I kind of talk a little bit about, the previous episode. Like I did that one episode called Who the is Ginger? The show I did about my dream lady. And the next episode, the beginning of it, I kind of talked about some stuff I forgot to mention. But I kind of do that, just like what I mentioned a little earlier in this episode, beginning about stuff I forgot to ask my brother about. But you know what I mean. All this stuff I'll probably be bringing up again. I'll probably do more episodes about certain things. Like I'm sure there'll be another episode upcoming about slasher films and maybe like weird stuff I've noticed in movies. Maybe I'll have a Tommy Wiseau, I think it's Wiseau episode. Maybe, I don't know, a Godzilla episode. You never know. But the thing is, it's hard to concentrate because I'll probably be all over the place. So I don't know. Maybe just giant monsters, But there's definitely a lot of stuff to talk about. And I swear an oath as I sit here that I am going to start writing notes. One I definitely need to write some stuff about is when I do my WTF Zombies episode. That one I have thought about for a very long time. I'm going to be talking about movies like Burial Ground, Hell of the Living Dead, Nightmare City, Stink of Flesh. That one I think kind of fits on the agenda. Zombie 3, 4, and 5, obviously. Also 5 is also known as Killing Birds. And, of course, Zombie Holocaust, because that one's just like, what the fudge am I watching? And I love it all. That one I'm definitely going to have to take notes for, because that one, I don't know. I'm not saying any of these episodes aren't important, but that one's like kind of going to be a very dear, special one to me, because I'm talking about some films that I have nothing but absolute love for. Oh, and did I say Burial Ground? Well, that one's going to be mentioned too, so that's why I need to take notes. I'll be doing that upstairs probably pretty soon, and if I feel good enough, maybe this weekend I got, some notebooks and crap, got index cards. But yeah, I'm a very unorganized in the brain individual. I'm just trying to, for the new year, I didn't make any resolutions, but I am trying to better myself, first of all for me, and then for other people that I care about. But I'm going to do my best to get my health better so I can feel good, take better care of myself and my responsibilities in life. And I think this year, I might as well say, but I'm going to try to put together a crazy band, even if it's not 100%, but just something I'd really like to, and play some shows and just go crazy and have fun. I show this town that not everybody is freaking indie rock, a country, or hardcore, whatever you guys are doing out there. And that's fine. Keep doing what you do. If you do it good, do it. Whatever. I don't care if you don't even do it good. But I'm going to put together something. And maybe eventually the Earwigs will play a show again. I don't know. Right now in my life, I'm not too excited about doing it. I don't really care. Before I forget, so the other day, I called in. I was sick. Called in Tuesday. I normally don't do that, but I did not feel good at all. And I just sat there and I watched Metallica's Some Kind of Monster. And I'm going to say it was a very moving documentary. It was like 2 hours, 20 minutes, and it actually moved me. It really did. And I'm not joking. Like I used to be, I didn't even mention this. Okay, that was before I erased it. So I used to be the world's biggest Metallica fan, and I actually bought this documentary, kind of a little slightly beat up. I bought the double DVD in Coeur d'Alene last year, now I could say. Yeah, last year. And I decided I was going to do my sister Heidi. Well, she didn't show up, and I was kind of bummed out. I took it with me to give to her, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't. No offense. Because I took it back home. Well, anyways, I'm still going to give it to her because I want to find it brand new and get it in my collection. And it was really good. Even though I haven't been a fan of Metallica for a very long time, I basically haven't really been a fan since Cliff Burton passed away. I owned And Justice for All twice on cassette, and I got rid of it both times. I think I sold it for like $10, but I couldn't get into it. I did like the song Blackened, and one was okay, but I couldn't get into it. And that whole controversy about lack of bass, yeah, that was lame. And even if they threw the bass back in, I don't care. I couldn't get into that album. Definitely better than all the garbage they put out after that, though. But the thing is, I don't hate Metallica. I used to have a picture of them on my wall. I loved them. And you know what? If I could ever hang out with Kirk Hammett, I would, because he seems like a really super cool, sweet dude. Cliff Burton will always be my favorite band member, but Kirk Hammett is definitely number 2. That dude is just a really good guy. And anyways, it was a really good documentary, and Heidi, I will give it to. But yeah, I watched it, and I don't know. Be honest with you, I think that's what sort of got the gears turning tonight, to get off my ass. Because part of that thing is about regret. There's a scene in there where they hired this guy, they're paying him like $40,000 a month. And he was working with the band, and it's kind of funny. But anyways, it brought up a thing. It's like, they're talking about regret. They said, you guys are like, friends here. You've been together for a long time, and you're not, what if something happened to one of you guys, And it made me think about life, and it made me think about people. And I don't know, it just kind of sunk in my head. And then earlier, sort of getting near the end of this episode, I started, thinking, but it's kind of hard to, especially if you haven't talked to somebody in a while, you're like, crap, you build up stuff. And especially if you've already built up really stupid things in your head, you think, oh, this person's never going to talk to me again. The thing is, you don't know if you got to try it. I mean, I pressed that button to call button, the little green telephone button. And I'm glad I did. And I have no regrets, and I'm very happy. So, like I said, my friend, if you're listening to this, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. And as I always say, if you didn't, well, you don't, or you didn't, that's cool. But there's thousands of podcasts out there, everything you can think of. What else is there to say? Got a few minutes left, and this episode's over. And I think the last one that I record until I sit down with my because I have another SD card, and I'll probably be recording episodes. Let me just say, I'm probably going to take a little break, not for very long, because by the time you hear these, I'm sure there'll be new episodes being edited, and you can listen to my boring voice, but hopefully I'll be a little bit more excited. Maybe I'll drink coffee, or something, just something more exciting than this. But yeah, like I said, I'm just not feeling that great. I'm tired. I'm beat. But I am happy. I'm very happy. I know I keep saying it, but I am very, very happy about earlier. And that brings me joy to my heart. And that sounds silly. Good. Go ahead, laugh. Call me a geek, because I am a geek. If anybody ever comes to my house, you can see that I am a total nerd. My comics, my toys, my movies, my action figures. I don't care how old I get. I will always love all that stuff. And my impossible dream girl, my kitties, my family, my friends, everybody that's ever said kind things to me about my art, everything I do, my band, especially appreciate that. My horrible comedy, thank you. So anyways, I guess this is it for right now. Until the next episode of Beyond the Podcast of 1984. And as I always say, stay sick, take care, don't forget to change your underwear, and as always, keep the fill and keep watching the skies. This has been Charles, the Bizarre Alien from Outer Space. Look at that romantic opera. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, if only. Oh well, that's me, a dreamer until the end. The guy who never got the girl at the end, but still he breathes. All right, until next time, Nanu. Bye-bye.
Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
What is this?
It's Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Well?
It's just BCA.
Better not be. I warn you, for many years, I have been training as an acrobat. Know a lot of tricks.
Well, then show us on btp1984.com.
Of course I wouldn't. Hey! Well,
BCA finds it very hilarious. Maybe you could tune in and listen to the show, btp1984.com.
sure. What do you think I am? A fake?
Are you a diehard fan of Beyond the Podcast of 1984? Do you want to show off your love for the podcast in style? Well, look no further. Introducing our exclusive podcast merch line. From t-shirts that will make you the envy of all your alien friends, to hats that will keep you looking freaky while repping your favorite podcast. We've got everything you need to take your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 fandom to the next level. So don't wait. Head to btp1984.com now and grab yourself some podcast merch before it's all gone. And remember, wearing BCA's merch will automatically make you funnier and more attractive. Get your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 merch today and join BCA's podcast revolution.